We're jumping straight in today with a critical security alert that honestly requires your immediate attention. So let's start with a really important question. Is your database secretly leaking data? Now, this isn't just some hypothetical. It's a very real and urgent question that thousands of organizations are facing right now, all thanks to a brand new, high-severity vulnerability that could be exposing sensitive information from the very heart of your applications. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The vulnerability is officially tracked as CVE-2025-14847, but pretty much everyone is calling it MongoBleed. And that name? It's intentional. It's a direct nod to the infamous Heartbleed bug, and for a very good reason. Just like its namesake, it lets an attacker literally peek into a server's memory and just steal data. Now, what makes MongoBleed so incredibly dangerous is how these four things combine into a perfect storm. First, it can be exploited remotely, from anywhere in the world. Second, and this is huge, it requires zero authentication. An attacker doesn't need a password, they don't need a username, nothing. Third, the attack itself is not even that hard to pull off. And the real kicker? It's already being actively used by attackers out in the wild. You put all that together and you've got a massive problem on your hands. So you're probably asking, how on earth does an attacker get in without any credentials? Well, the really sneaky part is that this whole vulnerability gets triggered before authentication even gets a chance to kick in. It's a fundamental flaw in how the server handles compressed data that's sent over the network. And this breaks down exactly how it works. The attacker sends a specially crafted, compressed little package of data. The server's zlib decompression function, which is a super common library for this stuff, gets totally confused by this weird package. But instead of just throwing an error, it miscalculates the response size. And what it ends up sending back isn't just the intended data, but also random adjacent chunks of its own live memory. That memory could hold anything: user PII, private API keys, you name it. And make no mistake, this is not some minor bug affecting a few old systems. The scale of this problem is global, and the exposure out there is pretty significant. According to some fantastic research from the security firm Wiz, a staggering 42% of cloud environments have at least one vulnerable version of MongoDB running right now. Let that sink in for a second. Nearly half of the cloud infrastructures they scanned are carrying this risk, whether that database is exposed to the internet or not. So, to put a real number on that percentage, the security firm Census has identified about 87,000 publicly facing MongoDB instances that are potentially vulnerable. These are the servers just sitting directly on the internet, making them the absolute easiest targets for attackers who are out there scanning for this exact flaw as we speak. The timeline here really shows just how fast these things move. A working exploit was made public on December 26. Less than 24 hours later, it was already being used in active attacks. The window you have to react is incredibly small, which is why speed is absolutely everything. Okay, so that's the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Understanding the risk is step one, but taking immediate action is what truly matters. So let's walk through your defense plan right now. All right, this is the most important slide for your technical teams. Go ahead and pause here if you need to. Find the version of MongoDB you're running in that middle column. The patched, safe version you need to upgrade to is listed right next to it. The single most crucial action you can take is to upgrade to that patched version immediately. It's the only way to fully eliminate this vulnerability. And here is a critical warning. If you are running any of these older end-of-life versions, you will not be getting a security patch, ever. You are permanently at risk from MongoBleed, and your only true solution is to prioritize a full upgrade to a supported version as soon as humanly possible. Now, if for some reason you can't patch this very second, you still have options. This 4-step plan is your checklist for immediate risk reduction. First, plan that upgrade. Second, as a temporary fix, you can disable the specific zlib compressor that's causing the problem. Third, and this is always a best practice anyway, lock down network access. Your database should never, ever be exposed to the open internet. And finally, keep a close eye on your logs for any suspicious activity or unexpected crashes. So, fixing MongoBleed is the #1 priority, for sure. But this whole event teaches us a much broader lesson about what security looks like today. MongoBleed is just a stark reminder that your biggest threats can come from the most unexpected places. Not a stolen password, but a tiny bug in a common compression library that gets hit before authentication even begins. True security isn't just about reacting to today's crisis. It's about building a resilient environment with strong network controls, a rapid patching process, and active monitoring so that you're prepared for the unknown threats that are inevitably always just around the corner.